Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 238 of Kouryer podcast. Our today's guest is Miss Marija Puskovaite. She's a character artist and illustrator from Kaunas, Lithuania. And of course, before going to start with the general questions of the podcast, I'm going to quickly mention that in the for contact section of the captions, you can find the ID to her Instagram, Twitter account, and also the links to her art station, and also commission page, where she can see the info of her commissions. You should check it out. Just go there and share it around in case someone is an illustration. It's good karma. You'll do someone a favor. And yes, well, with that out of the way, let's jump into the questions, but before we do that, how are we doing today?
Honestly, super great. It's finally really rainy season here in Lithuania. And I used to hate rain so much before, but now somehow something that is so cozy about it. So I'm just really enjoying this atmosphere right now. And overall, doing really great.
Yeah, and well, let's start off with the first signature question of the podcast, which is give us a little introduction on how we got into the world of visual arts and design. Basically, tell us your story of how you basically became an artist or decided to become an artist.
From like childhood almost, right? That could be as early as possible, right? I guess like it started very early in kindergarten. I used to love drawing, but I guess that's like a lot of kids. But in some way, my teachers told my mom that I actually do pretty well. Like my creations are very interesting, and my mom was like, "Okay, I'll send her to High School of Arts." And it actually opened up recently in our city when I was young. And it's actually like a high school that is just like a regular high school, but at the same time, it's also an art school. So we give you everything like drawing, sculpturing, painting, which at some point was very heavy load of work an older age. But it was very fun. So I started there from first grade and I was there till like 12th grade. So I would say I was very much in arts really, really early on. I would say, though, I cannot fully say I was really good at it when I was younger. At one point, I even wanted to drop arts when I was like maybe in 9th, 10th grade, because I saw that I was not doing so well as others. But really, luckily, I got close to one of my classmates, and she really gave me back that kind of a spark to draw again. And we would just draw every single day for like 6 to 8 hours straight. So I got really, really into drawing back again, especially more into like cartoony animation stuff. And then after that, after finishing high school, I attended art academy and I took like a applied graphics course for 4 years. And in first year of university, I actually got very lucky. I think I will say like my journey feels very lucky, and like because I got a lot of support from my family, from people around me, and because one of our teachers saw our work, me and my friends, and he offered us to one game company. So I started even working for a game company very early on in like my first year of university, and I've been working there for like 6 years. So that's kind of how my journey, I would say, just like I was constantly surrounded by art, even if in my high school, my dad used to draw a lot as well. So that was also where I got a lot of inspiration and support. And I would say like biggest milestone was definitely meeting my friend who really got me into drawing more animation stuff. Because I definitely at one point wanted to do something else. Like I wanted to do interior design. For some weird reason, I really like to draw lamps and create lamp designs. So I feel like that's very different from what I do right now. But I think like my friend and then university and then getting a chance to work in a game company early on was really what pushed me where I am right now. And of course, I would mostly say drawing for myself a lot every day really was still like the main thing that drove me and helped me improve. So I would say that's pretty much my journey, maybe in more less details. So
All right. And like when you were in high school, I don't know, like at the time you wanted to, of course, choose to go to university or college. Was that like did you know even from that point that you were going to study something in art related or stuff like that? Or was it different? Like, was it like you were pursuing another degree and you were like, because of family and society, you were like, oh, I'm just going to have art on the side as a hobby. Like, how was it for you?
I would say I never. Well, it depends what point I look at. Because when I was till like eighth grade, I didn't even think much about what I was gonna work. And that's where I wanted to drop art. And I was like, I don't know what else I could do. But I wasn't thinking much. I just saw that art wasn't for me. I was actually considering to be a kindergarten teacher if that didn't work out for me. But when I really got the spark for drawing, I was like, I really want to get into digital art world whenever it's like games or animation or just illustration. So I think like starting from like 11th grade, 12th grade, I was really aware and sure that I want to study art and I want to work with it. So I think, yeah, it was quite easy to know at that point that that's what exactly what I want to do. So I think that's also, I got kind of lucky because I already knew. Like it was very clear for me at that point. Yeah.
All right. And well, in the introduction, I mentioned that you're a character artist and illustrator, but now I want to ask a little bit more in depth and specifically. What is your main branch of design that you're focusing on, and tell us about your experience from the start of it until now. Like, but out of like everything you've done or doing, what is that one thing that you're like super good at more than anything else? And also tell us the story of how you kind of decided to pursue that.
I think character design would still be my strongest point because I just love creating characters, some creatures as well, but I think like people the most. And that's, I would say, like that's my biggest strength. I still have a lot of things that else I want to improve on, like backgrounds and full illustrations, but usually my work did imply working on characters. Like even right now, at the moment, I'm doing freelance job for animation, and my whole job is just to create characters, like a bunch of them, like 70 characters. So that's my main job. But it definitely helped. But at first I started working for a game company. And at the game company, I didn't only draw characters. I did actually have a lot of tasks. It was posters, like items, backgrounds, and so on, like assets basically. So I would say that's working for a game company really pushed me there because I had to also stylize a lot. I wasn't always doing everything in my own style, so I had to adjust and everything like that. And I think, yeah, that's where I learned the most because even in my university, we don't really have digital courses in Lithuania. Maybe now they're more, maybe now they appeared, but during the time I was studying, there wasn't anything like that. So I didn't really study digital art as much. It was more traditional with some digital if I got lucky. But I would say, yeah, that's how I think where my most improvement came. And definitely, like I said before, the friend that I made in 11th grade, she really pushed me. And she was so much better at drawing than me. Like I was always looking up to her. And she would give me so much help and techniques and how can I improve. And I would say, thanks to her, I actually did improve a lot. So I would say that's like such a huge thing to have close artist friends, especially if they're better than you. That's even better because you can learn so much. So yeah, I hope I answered that question. I hope I didn't miss anything though. So
No, it was pretty good. And now to continue on that, how does your design process usually go anytime you want to start working on a new piece or a project? Basically, what does the structure of your pipeline look like?
depending really on the task, actually, right? Because I never do everything on a project. I never did like the whole art style. I was never a lead artist. So I was always just someone like I get a style, I get a task, so I work on it and I try to adjust to it. And I don't know, it really depends. I guess for the game, for example, for games, some I worked on that looked very complete opposite of my style. Like it was DC, Marvel, a comic kind of style. So it actually takes a lot of time to just adjust to that style, especially when I do very bubbly, cartoony kind of thing. But I don't know. I can't really see much about that process. I guess I just try to learn, analyze what are the main parts of that style. Like, for example, it has to be semi-realistic. There's bold, strong black lines. Sometimes you add little rim lights on the characters. So I just try to copy and see what are the main things that I have to focus on and try to draw them based with that. If there's, of course, luckily, if there's like a lead artist, they give me tips and helps on how to improve it. But generally, yeah, analyzing a style, it's very important to see the most main few ingredients that make that style, I would say. Yeah.
All right. And well, actually, I want to ask some journalist stuff, to be honest. Since you were a kid, I mean, of course, I imagine, just like everyone else who's in the video game industry, you've been a fan of games probably, right? And what are some of your fondest like memories of gaming when you were a kid? And what are some of your favorite games of all time as well?
Just like in general games?
Anything, yep.
Wow, okay. Because there could be many. I think if I had to choose the ultimate one, something that really stuck to me since childhood was Dofus. Dofus, I think hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. It's a French game, and I used to play it since I was like 12. And it's such an amazing style. Like, even if you don't enjoy that type of game, I would say just for the style, I would just love exploring the world. It was really huge. And I think it's also one of the big inspirations of my current style and how what I like is because of that game. And I actually wanted to work there once, but I then found out they only want French speaking people. So I was like, okay, I cannot do that. But I mean, I don't know, maybe we changed, but at the time. So yeah, I would say Dolph was really amazing. I also really love competitive shooter games, maybe which doesn't seem like my style, but I really love like Overwatch, and I love their character design creations, how easily they made those characters that you can instantly tell it's them by just few little details. And then generally, I would say just really like competitive games, and also Ori and the Blind Forest, which is also has super cool style. That's why I love it. So but lately, I don't think I have a lot of time to play games, to be fair. Lately, not so much.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I don't think it's mostly about time. It's also about like having the energy to play games and enjoy it.
Oh, yeah,
Because like,
definitely.
sure. I mean, technically, like, yeah, we have time for everything, but people really miss this thing that you also need to have like the both mental and physical energy to do that thing as well. Because you see it all over social media. There's this like, motivational bros saying you have 24 hours a day. You should sleep 4 hours a day so you have more time. Like, whew,
I
you
would
know?
not manage
No, no.
4 hours. Who could do that, to be honest?
I need my nice 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I can't do
Uh-huh.
without that.
Agreed. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, definitely. And the thing is that, with games as well, you need to also have like the be in a mood for it to enjoy it. It's not just you can, I have time.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if like a game is something that you have to start from finish to end and it does have an end, you have to spend a lot of time to actually reach that. Like even if it's 20 hours in total, you're still gonna have to spend a lot of time to finish that game. So it does require a lot of energy.
Yeah, definitely. And also now I need to ask you something else. Who are some of your favorite artists and designers that have inspired you the most?
Oh, so many actually. Oh, well, I think if I had to go from the top, it would be Alexander Zadig Dupont, which is a French artist, and I think like he also did so much. Like because I think the style that I used to draw before was very different a bit from what I draw now, and he also was the reason I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want to create. So I would say him. There's also Caravaro. Um, Now, the problem is now to remember all of their names. But definitely there's a Dick De Boyne, Carovaro, also like Loish as well. Bill Otomo, if I'm saying his name right, Otomo. He does such amazing worlds. I think I really like actually artists who have the same resemblance to Dolfo's game. Like sometimes I would even think we would have worked on them. So I think these artists are definitely. Oh, and James Jean. Oh gosh, I realize now when people ask me the names of artists, I'm not very good at remembering them. But yeah, James Jean as well. Like his work is amazing. So I would say these four are the main ones for sure.
All right. And what are you working on right now that you can tell us about? What kind of project is it? I mean, of course, if there's NDAs involved, we can skip right past this question. But if that's not the case, what are you doing right now?
What I'm working on is NDA, but it can give a glimpse of what it is, but I will not specify anything. So at the moment, I'm freelancing on an animation series here in Lithuania. And it's a show for kids, and my job is to create all of the characters. So this is the first time I have gotten so much responsibility. I mean, I guess I'm kind of like a lead for artists, for characters. So basically have to do the concepts and expressions and just give them the feel of those characters and how we are. I don't think I can say more just to be safe. But yeah, that is what I'm doing at the moment.
All right. And what area beside the area you're working on right now, which is of course is like visual arts related, which we're interested to explore and learn in the future. That is not related at all to visual art. What other non-art things you have going on in your life?
Oh, just in general, what I do on my free time?
No,
Or
no, no. Maybe it's something you want to learn. Maybe it's something you want to do, like other ambitions and that are non-art related, basically.
oh, non-art related, huh? Oh wow. I guess most of my goals are very related to art. So it's very hard to say. Maybe like physically, I guess I really want to get stronger. Like I love working out and going bouldering. So this is like one of those my goals that I want to get better at. It's hard to say because I really want to say like I want to improve like in ceramics, crochet, but they're all very art related. So it's hard to say. I guess in general, maybe enjoying life more. I won't lie because I do feel like I'm very lately been very too much work or focused, and I feel like that's and you don't really remember much of it. Like it's not a memory you create when you only focus on work. So I really want to improve on that. That I would actually spend time more with people and family, and just doing maybe more experience kind of things. So that's something that I really need to improve on. I think that's it. To be honest, nothing big pops in my head.
No, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be, something non-art related, like a hobby. Like bouldering is actually like a really intense thing if you can get really good at it. It's actually not easy at all.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a real challenge. It's really challenging.
It's very, I remember the first time I tried it before doing any type of exercising in my life, I was knocked out for 2 days. Like how physically it was draining and how much painful it was. I was not prepared for that, to be honest.
Yeah, with bouldering, you use muscles you didn't know even existed,
Yes.
And yeah, you feel pain in places you didn't know you could feel pain. Yeah. Not just with bouldering, just anything that is like actual, like, requires human movement, like compound movements.
Yes.
Like even running a marathon. Like, believe it or not, running long distance even hurts improves your back muscles and also abs as well. It sounds weird, but I think in an eccentric sense it does.
Yeah, everything
Because
is tense, just tense.
yeah,
Yeah, but running marathon is something people kind of want to put on me, but I'm not ready for something like that at all. It seems like something very intense, to be honest.
no, honestly, only the first 2-3 months of the training gets intense, because I used to train for marathons as well, like a couple of years ago. The first 2-3 months, your legs are gonna your shins are gonna have have a lot of shin splinters. It's gonna hurt a lot because of constant running and pressures. You need to change your shoes. You need to do a lot of things. You learn a lot doing these things. But after that, once the bones in your foot actually gets strong, the rest is just a matter of time, because you don't feel pain. You're just cruising. You're just having fun. You're vibing. But most people don't really get into it that much, because it requires like good 2 months, 1.5 months to actually start seeing improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it does sound like still a lot of unprepared work that you have to go through, like something you don't expect. So maybe someday, who knows, when I get in better shape. But right now, I still have so much to improve. I still cannot do one pull-up. Okay, actually, yeah, I forgot to mention, one of my goals is to do a pull-up, which I still cannot.
Yeah, pull-ups are hard. I can't even do one. I can do it one chin. I can do a couple of chin-ups, but I can't do one pull-up, to be honest with you.
Then that's very far for me.
Yeah, but still, like, bodyweight exercises are great. Like, I honestly recommend it to everyone. Instead of going to gym, just work on calisthenics. Because most people don't want to be like bodybuilders and compete on stage.
Yeah.
They just want to be fit. They just want to feel healthy. And honestly, like, not that saying weights are bad. Like, actually, dumbbells and barbells are good. But I personally am not a fan of machines in gyms like that.
Just actually. So
natural.
What do you do then? Naturally?
Calisthenics, just your body weight. Push-ups, pull-ups, squats, like yoga, running, hiking. Yeah, this type of stuff.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, actually, because I guess unknowledgeable yet in this area, because for me, gym seems so obvious and so easy to understand. So that's why I kind of like it. It feels
You feel
simple.
safe? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels simple in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but honestly, the thing I have a problem with gym, most people think that's like the best way to go, which honestly, like, I'm not going to stop anyone from going, like, who's a beginner, like, it's better than nothing. But to me, it's really weird when you go to gym for 2 months and you can do, let's say, 60 kilogram of bench press, like for someone who's a complete gym newbie in 2 months. I mean, that's good. But you can't do 10 push-ups with good form. That's just weird to me.
I
You
won't
know,
like, yeah.
Yeah, because like if you can master your own weight and like be conditioned, you can do handstands. I think gymnastics, yoga, calisthenics are much more better for longevity and just health overall than, I don't know, lifting weights. Not that saying lifting weights has its own place in the right time, but that's not, in my opinion, the best approach for the general fitness.
Yeah,
And
actually,
also, I don't mind the podcast turning into like a fitness talk because it's something that people still need to know about.
yeah. And I won't lie as well. It's a big part of my life right now as well. So I enjoy talking about it as well. And I won't lie, I do at some point want to improve where I'm at, because right now it's gym and I want to get a bit more fit, and then I want to try something more intense later on. But I've only been doing it like less than a year, so I think I still have a lot to go for. So it's
Yeah,
kind
just
of
enjoy the journey. I
yeah,
mean,
it's fun
don't
actually.
really think about your goals like that. Just try to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Yeah, and one other question: have you ever had, or do you have like any plans or ideas or sketches maybe of your own personal story and world building project?
I wouldn't say like it's world building or anything, but I have like my main character named Bobo, which is like a yellow duck, and I just love putting him in scenarios and like giving him certain friends. And at one point, I did want to create more intense world for him, but I never actually did that. But I just love to give him a life in a way. So just I have a lot of quite illustrations of him and him just I guess living life in a way. But I creating a world is still something on my bucket list. I would say art wise, it I really wanna even start like not doing just illustrations and concepts, but small GIF kind of animations to give it more life in a way. Because I feel like anytime you animate something, it feels more alive. So at the moment, no project world, but definitely something what I want to do. Just Bobo, only Bobo.
All right, and wait, I'm gonna be honest. Like the yellow doll behind you. Did you know that meme where there's this Japanese meme where this little animal comes up from a window and says "Hello, everyone" in English, and this
I
girl says, "Oh my
I
god!"
don't know.
Like,
I only heard of the audio, but I actually haven't seen the
yeah,
visuals for
like
it.
it really looks like that
Really?
doll. Yeah, I
But
don't know. Maybe I'm right.
that's my character Bobo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's, I didn't make this though. I got this as a gift. My friend
Oh,
gave
nice.
this to me and said like, I know you'll never make this Bobo plushie that you plan, so I've made this for you.
Oh, that's so
So,
nice of her.
yeah. So I'm very grateful for this. So yeah, but that's actually somewhat some my character that I draw a lot,
All
and
right,
he's very
mystery
goofy.
solved. That's Bobo.
Yeah, that's Bobo. Yes.
And well, we've reached the final section and question of the podcast, which is called Time Capsule. And all right, let me explain. Imagine you're in a situation where you only have only a couple of minutes or just a very short amount of time left to say anything that you want. And after that, you're going to be taken away to unknown land and you will never be seen or heard from ever again. So in that scenario, now that you have the time to say your last words, like anything express, basically your final opportunity to express yourself in any shape or form, that's it. What would you have to say from yourself, a human being, to any other human being who might listen to what you have to say? Like,
Well,
also, don't worry if it's going to be cliche, just say whatever comes up to your mind.
yeah. I guess something that I've been lately learning for myself, so that I would say Towers as well, is as much as you hear this a lot and how hard it is actually hard to do, living in the moment is so important. I realize it's so, because you don't really take in, and by living in the moment, I don't mean just like doing what you're doing now, not being in your head all the time, actually seeing what's happening in front of you, interacting with people in front of you, and just living at that moment is very, very important. Because I noticed myself that I could be walking in woods, I would not be able to see them because all I see is images, worries in my head. So I think it's very important to learn how to actually live. And I'm not saying that I am fully capable of doing this myself. I need to work on it as well. But I think that's why we kind of don't feel as happy as kids as we used to be, because we didn't think too far. We were literally living at the moment and enjoying it. And I think we lost it a lot. So I think that's something I think people should really focus on. And also being aware what's actually making you happy. Because usually I do see people and myself as well spending way too much time on things that we don't really enjoy. And I'm not saying there are things we have to do that we don't enjoy, but just in general, I hear people literally talking what we want to do in their lives, what makes them happy, but they do choose completely the opposite. So I think these two things, because it's very important. We only have this, as very cliche, this very one life, right? So I would see this.
All right, awesome. That's actually such a good answer, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, here's the thing: all of us know this stuff, but
Yeah, but we forget.
the thing is, no, not just about forget, but the way, like, all of us also understand things in different ways. So even though the message is the same, the messenger's way of saying it is also different. So I think it's more important to people to speak up about this stuff. You know, you don't have to be worried if it's your words are going to be cliche. It's fine, because maybe the way you say it is going to click for someone. You know, so that's why I think, you know, just this question that I do in the end of the podcast is really important for me. You know, whenever I ask someone this, and I always get really interesting answers, to be honest. But sometimes not the most interesting. Yeah, one time someone said don't put pineapple on pizza as answer. So yeah,
That's very important for them, possibly. Yeah.
yeah. All right, and well, thank you so much for coming by. And where can people contact you if they had any questions? Is there Instagram or Twitter? Okay.
Sorry, what? Can you repeat?
Where can people contact you for
Oh.
if they had any questions?
Oh, yeah. They can find me on Instagram and Twitter named My Type. My is written like with an A.
Yeah, it's in the caption for anyone who's
Yeah, it's going to be in
interested.
the caption. And our station as well, which is Marija P. And yeah, honestly, also I'm very welcome with people having questions when we don't know what to do with their either art career or something else. And I'm always welcome to answer if anyone wants to get any questions from me, to get any answers from me. So feel free to do so. Yeah.
All right, awesome. And again, thank you so much for coming by, and thank you to anyone who tuned in and listened to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if there's any comments or critiques or suggestions, leave them down in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll check them all out. And till next episode, take care and stay safe. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.